I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Best Thing We've Seen podcast. My name is Flo.
And I'm Gabe.
We're excited to bring you another regular episode of our show. We're both, tired, concerned. Things are going on in this world that we haven't experienced before.
Yeah, we didn't, but it has happened before.
How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing quite tired. Yeah.
Quite tired?
Yeah. No, I'm fine. No, I'm tired. I'm hungry, but I'm ready for this episode.
Feels like it's been this way every single episode. We're both always tired. We're both not in the best condition that we could be in. I don't know.
Well, we were quite psyched last time.
We were, but that was the forced energy that we talked about. It's that energy. Come on, talk about energy. No, but you mentioned it before. Maybe we should record this like a bit later in the day, but.
Well, it's quite late today.
It is now.
Yeah, but
it's 8 a.m. now, as opposed to 7 a.m. when we usually record these episodes. But yeah,
it's half the charm we have. Yeah, being tired. And
It's that raspy voice. Yeah, for sure. So
deal with it.
Perfect. Perfect way to play it to the audience. Just deal with it. So, how was your week, dude? We had an interesting week.
Yeah, we worked together at the convention, which we talked about last week, and did anything else happen?
No, that was very time consuming.
It was, like 10 hours a day.
You basically live there and go home and maybe grab a drink and then sleep and do the same thing again.
That's pretty much it, yeah. But it was fun.
Did you enjoy it? Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I think it's great every time.
Yeah, me too.
And the time goes by so fast. Although you're there for like between 10 and 12 hours a day.
Well, you had a different job this year.
Yeah, I was at the information point.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
giving out information.
Yeah, you did it so well.
I did. I did it quite alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to my own horn.
As opposed to like when you work there, like my job was just to be wherever I was needed, basically.
Yeah.
And sort of help out different
setting up things and
right. And you just were at the same. You only gave out not only, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I sat around a lot.
Yeah. Came to visit you quite a.
Yeah, I started reading the paper again. I did some Sudoku. It's quite nice, actually.
Yeah,
I liked it. Yeah,
it's good to do something productive.
Yeah.
What was the weirdest question you got asked?
Where do I learn to build weapons? Which I don't know.
Perfect place to come to.
I sent him to the army.
They welcomed him with open arms.
I'm sure they did, yeah.
Did he come back to you afterwards and thank you for that perfect information?
He didn't. He's in prison now.
Yeah.
It's a weird request, yeah.
It was, yeah. Because, this convention doesn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah. What was your weirdest moment?
My weirdest moment?
Did anything special happen while I was away?
Well, I was in the
crew,
the shopping team.
Yeah, shopping team.
I was the one, like, with 3 other people. We sort of went to the store every morning and bought everything that we needed for the day.
Some great stuff. I ate better food there than I do at home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had some special requests that a friend of ours made for you. Yeah,
a special sandwich. It's great, yeah.
I'm happy. Yeah, it seemed to work out all right because it was my first time sort of,
Yeah, you did great.
Leading. No, thank you.
You bought me a barek.
I bought you
which is German or Turkish for barek.
Just wondering where you're going to go with that. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll be back there next year.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of that convention that we worked at, we both obviously didn't have a lot of time to watch anything really.
I watched, I think, 3 or 4 movies.
Oh, you did?
Since then, the 3 of them I saw with you in the cinema.
Right. If you count the first, yeah, sure, we had 3. Yeah, and I just counted the 2, but yeah,
1 at home. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the one you said? Let's not maybe. It's the one that you saw
at
home?
I'm sorry. After the convention, I saw 3 movies. No, wait, 2 movies. I am so confused. I don't know what day it is.
He's tired. Yeah, he's tired.
Yeah, I'm so tired. No. No, we watched two. We watched. Well, we're gonna maybe talk about it later.
Sure.
But
you want to talk about the one that's not going to make your top pick? Which one did you see?
yeah, one we saw right before the convention started, which was I think Emma. Yeah.
We saw Emma.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a friend
The
of ours.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie which you do not need to see. No,
Perfect.
It's all right.
Let's leave it at that, right?
It's not a Jane Austen movie, and it's I don't know. It did exactly the same thing as the other Jane Austen movies did, so it was quite boring actually. Yeah.
I love this energy and this vibe you have
Yeah,
today. It's
no,
perfect.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
The film is just about. Well, it's all right. It's visually it looks quite nice.
Yeah.
And costumes and
We both
the color
like
palette.
the main actress, right?
Yeah,
We're fans of her.
but
and
not fans. I don't know.
are we not?
She's all
She's
right.
been good in the things that we've seen, right? She was in Split,
Yeah.
Glass.
She was
Was one other thing, right? Wasn't there one other thing?
probably.
Oh, I saw her in a movie called Thoroughbreds, which is a great film.
It was about horses.
No, it's about that's ridiculously difficult to explain. Like it's about two girls and basically they're plotting to kill one of their stepdads, I want to say.
Oh yeah. Well, that sounds
And I think
interesting.
it's Anton Yelchin's last film. You know who he is?
No. Well, Anton Yelchin's last film, wasn't it, with Peter Dinklage? Rememory.
Right. I don't know which one came.
Well,
last.
it came out. No, sorry. I think Rememory actually came out after he died.
I think that one did too. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe
Whatever.
it was one of his last performances,
Yeah.
and that's a great film. But yeah, I didn't enjoy Emma
Yeah.
either. It was. I thought it was
It's about
fine.
a couple of spoiled rich people in the I don't know, what was it, 19th century, 18th century, probably 19th. Yeah.
It was. I thought it was all right. We had like the most action, the most entertainment came after the film when there was like a huge, you know what I'm talking about, the fire. Yeah. What do you call that?
Well,
10 fire trucks came. When we left the cinema, 10 fire trucks came towards the cinema.
Yeah, a couple of ambulances and I think a police car.
Yeah,
because
what was happening, and then afterwards it turned out that there was a small fire on one of the toilets or something.
Yeah. But nice to know they're prepared.
Yeah, I mean it was crazy. Like it was literally like 10 fire trucks.
I don't know what they were gonna do with it.
Just one trash can on fire, just a little bit. Going. All clear. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about who started last time? Do you remember? It was. I think it was
actually
me.
just listened to to the podcast on my way here. Yeah, I know it was you.
All right. So, do you want to tell them? Do you want to tell our listeners how the show works, and then do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So if you're new to this podcast, which you're probably not.
Come on.
No, well,
Energy.
No, well, if you're new, you're probably going to start with episode 1. Although,
who knows?
who knows?
Maybe we're going to talk about one film that they're going to find when, if I put it in the description.
Yeah, don't look in the description if you don't want to be spoiled.
That's a good topic that you bring up.
No,
that's
you
right.
don't get spoiled. The topic gets spoiled.
Right. No, let's talk about that real quick because we had the idea of like using those fun titles of like alliterations. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, alliteration. Yeah.
Alliteration. Sorry. No, yeah. Right. And so we had like last episode. It was what was it called again?
Incredible Injustices and Ambitious Animation.
Right. And we sort of want to hint at what we're talking about in this episode, but then obviously if you read the description, it becomes very clear. Yeah. And we sort of, we're trying to figure out the balance of that but as you rightly said, if you don't want to know what we're talking about, maybe just guess from the title, and I would suggest not reading the description in the episode. But if you want to know what we're talking about, then go ahead and read the description.
Yeah, and don't read the comments. I'm just kidding. There are no comments.
Yes. Well, there's no comments in
Spotify or anything.
Yeah. It's just we're on YouTube now.
Yeah.
We haven't plugged that in on the podcast.
Do we have comments on YouTube? I haven't looked.
I don't think we have comments on YouTube now. But
okay.
we have not talked about us being on YouTube at all. So the few people that are listening to us on YouTube are you and a friend of ours who doesn't have a platform for podcasts.
Yeah. Because if we don't have Spotify,
right.
they're...
Well, we're on like 6 other podcast platforms.
But I don't have a membership for any of them. Or do you need a membership for Apple
Podcasts?
Podcasts?
No, you don't. We're now officially on Apple Podcasts.
I'm learning so many new things,
We're now officially on Apple Podcasts, which is really exciting to me because that is the platform that I use to listen to podcasts. And now to see our little cover design on that makes me... That was really exciting to me. So if you want to listen to us on Apple. Just type in best thing we've seen, and we should be able to find us right there.
Yeah. So,
just real quick, the YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel
is also just type in best thing we've seen, and you can subscribe there.
Yeah. Or well, you know, Apple Podcasts.
Everywhere. We can now say we're everywhere.
Perfect.
Google Podcasts. Anything else? Just
makes it sound so professional. Yeah. Sure.
All right. Sorry.
So if you don't know how this show works, Flo and me sit down and we talk about the best thing we've seen lately, preferably if something that came out in the last couple of months. And it can be pretty much anything, any kind of visual medium. A painting, for example.
Just do it.
I'm gonna do this every week.
I wasn't going to do it this week.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to do it this week.
I just heard it again on my way here.
Yeah.
I had to take the opportunity. Yeah,
you did it so well.
So yeah, it can be a movie, a TV show, a video clip on YouTube or anywhere else. So yeah, anything that you can see, I guess.
Sure.
Maybe even in the real world. Yeah.
Go on.
And that's pretty much
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
We talk about.
That's what we do.
The best thing we've seen.
And we also we decided to split it into a new section and an old section, because we're going to talk about
the main thing is always preferably something new.
Yeah,
and
it should be
after we're
new.
done talking about that, and we still have some time left.
Right. In case we've seen anything.
Include some
else.
quote unquote honorable mentions, which can
or
be something
older stuff.
Yeah, which can be something older.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
do
yeah.
you want to start us off? What have you seen this week? I'm excited to see what you're going to choose, because I think we're probably going to have the same thing.
Are we? Well, I didn't think you were that excited about the film that I'm going to name.
All right, let's do it. What's your pick?
My pick is Waves.
All right, perfect.
Is it yours?
No. We don't have the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, my pick is Waves, because we said before, we watched 2 or 3 movies together in the cinema lately, so there was like a 50-50 chance that we would pick the same film.
There was.
Because we hadn't seen anything else lately.
No.
As far as I'm aware.
I haven't.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, Waves, if you don't know anything about this film, I didn't when I watched it.
Yeah.
Which I think is fine.
Even though you were excited for it.
Yeah, I heard it was great, and I heard it was snubbed at the Oscars, and that it was one of the best films of the year. So I was curious.
It was the last sneak film that we saw. So there was like a reveal.
Yeah.
And we both sort of didn't know what the movie was going to be. And then A24, the logo came up, and I was a bit confused as to what that was.
Because we were expecting Richard Jewell, or maybe some comedy like Lady Kills or something like
the
that.
The Batista film.
Yeah, My Spy.
Is that what it's called?
Something Spy.
Something Spy. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. If you don't know anything about the film, it's a very slow experience.
It's a long one.
It is, and it's hard to describe the film without spoiling anything, because the film is about the life of a family living in Florida, and it takes the point of view of a teenager. Yeah, she's about 17, 18. Yeah. He goes to high school, and he is in the wrestling team there. And he comes from kind of a wealthy family with a very controlling father who pushes him to do more in terms of, I don't know, school and especially training for wrestling. And
he's sort of the picture book dad in movies, right? That pushes his child
kind of overbearing father.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, it's an experience, the film.
It's difficult to explain,
Yeah, because it's just about the lives of the family members,
right,
and how they deal with things, and how the kid deals with the stress of this. He has a couple of problems with it, which is his injury, which he suffers, which makes it quite hard for him to continue the sport.
Right, he has like a shoulder injury.
Yep. And then he has problems with his father and with his girlfriend, and it kind of becomes more and more and quite tough. And it is kind of hard to watch at times.
It is.
Because it's the kind of thing you can't just want to look away, because you know what's about to happen, and you just hope it's not going to happen. But it feels like a very realistic portray of life.
So? Yeah. You don't think it's like a bit, like, because basically everything goes bad, right? That's sort of the... It's not a spoiler.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
No, because, I mean, it's a drama. It's not like a comedy.
Well, not everything goes bad, but yeah, it has quite a decline in the characters' lives, and it kind of like I said, it gets worse, and how
it does.
And a lot of the film, which also the film also deals with, is the aftermath of what happens after those things have happened.
Yeah.
It's not something shit happens and then it's over. It's how do you deal with those things? How do other people deal with those things? Which I think was actually the most interesting part of the film, which came in the latter half.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took a turn that I didn't quite expect, because I thought the movie was going to be over after a certain point, and then it sort of had another 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think even longer, right?
Yeah, I thought it was like a 1 hour 40 movie or something like that, and it turned out to be like 2:15, I think it was.
Yeah.
So you expect the movie, I expected the movie to be over, and you sort of felt a sigh of, you sort of heard a lot of sighs in the audience, because I think this movie, you were one of the few people who really liked it.
A couple of people actually walked out.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Even like really late into it, which I found rather weird. But
I think they probably expected it to go into a different direction.
Maybe.
When they saw that it was such a slow film that, where no sudden twists and turns are gonna appear.
Yeah.
They got bored
for sure. But I'm more leaning towards your side of this, because I didn't love it as much. I don't know if you loved it, but I didn't.
I liked it very much.
Yeah. I thought it was fine. I thought it could have been a lot shorter, even though I know that they're, in order to tell the story that they're telling, they need some time.
I think the film is quite long, but I think length can be an advantage of film, because when you deal with a very real subject, you can't just cut it down to the most important parts, because then it seems quite unreal. It seems like a supercut of experiences, which I think kind of takes you out of it, because when it's longer, it feels like more like real life, because in life you have a lot of parts where not a lot of exciting stuff happens, and then it kind of takes a turn, and suddenly a new situation. And the way you deal with those situations can't just be explained in, I don't know, 5 minutes and then on to the next scene.
Right, but you can understand why some people don't enjoy that in their films.
That's why I think it's important to know before you walk into the film.
Yeah,
if you know what you're walking into, and if you like those kind of films, perfect.
Right.
It's kind of like, I don't know, uncut gems with not much of a coherent story.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good point, because the people that we watched it with didn't know what they were getting themselves into, because they didn't even know what movie they're going to watch in the sneak. So, I mean, it's understandable that some of them walked out.
But a thing that I want to mention about the film is the camera, for one.
Mm-hmm.
Second, the colors.
Yeah.
And third, the music. Because the film kind of used some...
Oh, we haven't talked about this. Do you know who did the music?
No.
Because when that... We sat next to each other.
Yeah.
And then the credits at the beginning, it said music by, and I did a little signal to you, and I don't think you noticed it, but the two people that did it are my favorite composers. It's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who did Social Network and everything that's good, yeah.
Oh, okay, let's start off with the music, because the score was pretty good. It was very emotional and kind of really made you feel like you were in the middle of the story, but which I really liked is the songs they picked for the film, because they played a lot of songs that I would not listen to in my normal everyday life, but they fit so perfectly with the story and the characters, and I really enjoyed the music while I was watching it, because it felt very authentic for the scene and for the characters, and kind of gave you kind of a deeper connection to the characters, because it really showed you what they liked, how they were feeling when they played this or that music.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree. It's not my favorite work of theirs, but it's so interesting, because when it comes to scores in films, I don't think that they did the soundtrack. Like they just did the score. Someone else picked the songs, I think. But when it comes to scores in films, which is like the obviously for people who don't know, the music without, like, if they don't use songs, but they just use like music that's specifically written for the film, that's called a score. And I'm one of those people that if I watch a film, I very, very rarely notice the score, because I feel so many of the music in film is very, very similar. And it's sort of, you have the orchestra and the trumpets and the horns and you know what
another
I mean?
Hans Zimmer, which
right,
after a while kind of sounds similar,
right? But I enjoy those as well. But
he has some great ones. But you kind of see in his lesser known movies.
Right.
They kind of sound the same, just with John Williams and others.
Yeah. But there are cases where I notice the music, and it turns out that every single one of those cases is when it is done by people that I love the scores of. You know what I mean? And
there's some great people out
Trent
there.
Reznor is and Atticus Ross. They really did one of my favorite score of all time is Social Network score. And they did that, and they did so many other things.
Or Johan Johansson, which he was sadly he died a couple of years back. Great.
He was
composer.
Fantastic.
And every time you saw a film he was working on, you noticed it immediately. And those bombastic sounds, great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think that the director of Waves, he's called Trey Edward Schultz, and I think that the film that he did previously,
It Comes at Night,
and I'm pretty sure that Johan Johansson scored that film.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Another reason to go watch it now.
I've seen that film. I didn't like it.
Yeah. It's with the guy from Warrior. What's his name?
It's Joel Edgerton.
Thank you.
I'm going to look this up because this is probably wrong. But let's have a look here. It Comes at Night.
He didn't do a lot of films, right?
Unfortunately, no.
A lot of work with Denis Villeneuve.
He did not do It Comes at Night.
Okay.
Let's strike that from the record.
Never.
Yeah. What movie am I thinking of? Let's have a look. Let's see what he's done. Obviously, Sicario is maybe his most famous score, I would say.
Probably, yeah.
What else has he?
Arrival.
What has he done? Arrival, yeah.
Sadly, not Blade Runner, but still has a great soundtrack. Blade Runner, amazing soundtrack.
And we're going to talk about the guy who did Blade Runner, and when we talk about my film, because he scored my favorite.
He did?
Best thing. Yeah. He did Dunkirk. I told you he did Dunkirk, but he also did Blade Runner.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right.
Let's have a look. He did Johan Johansson. He did. Am I talking about the right? Sorry. I'm on the actors page. Johan Johansson. Is that what he's called? Johan. There he is. He is. You're right. Sorry. Here we go. He did 47 things. Holy moly. He did The Mercy, which is that. You remember that film? Colin Firth.
Yeah.
Mandy, the Nick Cage one. Perfect. Great film.
Didn't see that one.
Arrival. There we go. Arrival. We have Sicario. We have The Theory of Everything. We have Prisoners. What else? I think that's sort of his four most famous ones, I would say. Yeah. But he's a great great composer for sure.
So yeah. Sorry, and I just wanted to mention the camera.
Genau.
Because, Genau. It kind of always sounds very pretentious when you start talking about things like camera.
It does.
Editing, yeah. But
I know
it's very noticeable in this film, and I think it does a great job in, I don't know, showing you the whole picture.
It's a lot of circular motion.
Yeah, because the circular motion, you see 360 degrees of everything that's going around.
Yeah.
Going on around you, and it works really well. And just talking about camera and aspect ratio, which sounds even more douchey.
Right.
But it's very important for this film because it changes aspect ratio throughout the film.
Right.
And probably the reason for that is to kind of give you more of a feeling of what is going on, how are the people feeling, because the aspect ratio gets smaller and smaller until it becomes a cube, and then widens again. Yeah.
It's similar to a film that I haven't seen, but I know that you have seen it. It's that
Mom?
Yeah.
Mommy.
Mommy?
Yeah. A French film.
I don't know.
Or French-Canadian.
Javier Dolan, however you pronounce his name, yeah. But I've seen this. I know that he plays with aspect ratio.
Javier Dolan does it even more so. And the characters sometimes even interact with the aspect ratio.
Right. Yeah. I know the scene you're talking about, yeah. But yeah, it's difficult because we talked about many things that some people might not enjoy, but would you recommend that film to people? Like, I think it's more of a film for people who like consume a lot of cinema. Yeah,
I think it's a good film for those people, but also if you like something like directors like Terrence Malick or Jim Jarmusch, I think this could really be a film for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
which are one director I really like.
Yeah, and
I'm indifferent to Terrence Malick.
Right, and I'm not a fan of, not a big fan of them doing. I would, like I said, I didn't love Waves, but
that's all right.
I thought it was one of the better films in that category.
The better films you have seen this week.
Well, but the best thing I've seen this week is gotta be The Invisible Man, because I really, really love that film. I really did, and we haven't.
It's
really,
fun, yeah. What a great time!
And I have to right off the bat, because we just talked about it, I think the score is so freaking good.
It is. It's perfect.
It's so good,
and it's even better because we saw it in IMAX.
Yeah, it
which
was crazy.
Really brought out the sounds and the tension.
Yeah, and I mean, I love good credits. Yeah. I love good credits, and the opening credits are great. Mm-hmm. You remember the waves
breaking on the rock, crashing against the rock. Yeah.
It all comes full circle, perfect. And that sort of reveals the name of the film, and I think some producers as well, or something like that. But then the end credits as well. I love a good end credit, and we talked about, I think the director sort of really, like, in an epic way reveals his name. But the music, I've listened to that specific track since. I've looked it up on YouTube. It's called, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's called Denouement or something like that. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced that, but it's by Benjamin Wallfish. And that's
he did Dunkirk, right?
He did Dunkirk. Yeah. Do you know what else he did? Yes, he did.
But he knows stuff.
He's one of those composers that I notice where the score really works for me, and I think this score is phenomenal. And
not to mention, sorry,
no, go on.
For interrupting you, but not to mention, the scores are very noticeable in all the films we just mentioned. Although I just didn't put the piece together, it was the same composer. But yeah,
you're talking about the movies that we talked about that he did, or
Dunkirk Waves? Or Blade Runner. Yeah, you just immediately notice a score in those films.
Yeah,
when you did in this film
for sure. Well. And The Invisible Man. I think we have to. It's about. Let's talk about what it's about. It's about a woman who is in an abusive relationship, and she tries to escape from this relationship, and then she does, but then she gets she always lives in fear of him finding her. But then there comes one day the message is delivered that he took his own life and that he's dead. But turns out that he might not be dead after all, because she's sort of haunted by an invisible creature that she believes to be her husband.
No, ex-boyfriend.
Were they not married?
No, just boyfriend.
100%?
100%.
All right. And the main actress is Elizabeth Moss, who I think she's fantastic in this film. She really, I mean, she was in Us as well, if you remember. She's usually she now like delved into the horror genre, and she was great in Us, and now she's.
Although in Us she had a very comedic role.
Oh, well, quite a short comedic.
I mean, but the scenes were very funny when she starts screaming and the music is playing.
Right.
What was the song?
To a stretch.
Sound of the Police? No.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. But I heard her talking about it in interviews, that she sort of likes the horror genre because she can really go all out and it sort of works, as opposed to like if you overact or something in other films, then it becomes like weird. But I think she's fantastic in
she's a great actress in general. Yeah.
One of my favorite films of hers is The One I Love. Do you remember that film? We talked about it. I think you said that you saw it on Netflix, but you didn't watch it, right? You had it on your watch list or something. It's a great film where a couple they take a vacation and then they run into their doppelgangers.
I don't remember.
It's great.
Maybe
you have to seek that one out. It's a lot of fun, that film. But The Invisible Man. I think first of all the look is amazing. I think it looks fantastic, and as you said, it sounds douchey when you talk about the camera stuff, but. I'm not even going to talk about the camera. I'm just going to say it looks really, really great. And it was scary, man. It was really scary.
I think it's hit the perfect spot between being scary and being just entertaining. Yeah. Because it kind of has a shift in the, last 30 minutes in the film when it becomes more actiony, and it kind of takes away the tension. And I really like it when films do that, because when you walk out of a cinema, you are left with kind of a better feeling, if you know what I mean.
No?
Yeah.
Go on.
Because of a film, I do love horror films that are scary till the end. I understand what they're trying to do, but if you do this kind of switch between really intense horror and you're scared of jump scares all the time, and then you kind of stop towards the end, you're kind of more relieved when it ends, because when you keep the tension up until the very end, you walk out quite tense.
Right.
Yeah.
And you prefer that not to be the case.
Yeah.
But you can see why people enjoy it.
I do, but
well.
I don't know, I like it when the film's over and the film's over.
But wouldn't you say that the best like horror films are the ones that sort of have a final shot that really like shake you again?
Shake you, yeah, but not jump scares, because the film relied heavily on jump scares, which I'm not a huge fan of.
The Invisible Man?
Yeah.
See, I would disagree. I think there were like 3.
Really? It felt like more. But the thing is, it kind of changed from those kind of jump scares to more action.
I didn't love the last 30 minutes or something. I thought the movie was the best when the tension was at the highest.
I did like quite a lot of the kind of latter part in the hospital and the chase.
Right. You just didn't like the last scene.
The last like 5 minutes were incredibly unnecessary.
Not even 15 minutes? You're talking about
10, 15, yeah.
The last set piece, right?
Yeah.
That whole scene.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how long it was. It felt like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. See, I didn't mind that scene.
Yeah.
We talked about some plot holes that you didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And some. Yeah.
There's always going to be plot holes in those kind of films, though, right? There shouldn't be.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But there usually are. Another thing is, The Invisible Man is directed by Lee Winnell, who is the guy who wrote Saw, and he directed a film a couple of years ago which is called Upgrade, which I really, really loved. And that's about a guy being controlled by a stem cell, and he not controlled by, but he has that inserted after an accident, I think, and then he has like the powers of superhero or whatever. And there were a lot of nods to that film in The Invisible Man, and I've read up on some of the Easter eggs as well. That like it might actually play in the same universe or something. But then the director he was asked about it, and he just laughed about it. It's not like, it's just a cheeky nod. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to have anything to do with the movie. But that's another film that I really, really loved, and I'm really, really excited to see what he does next, because I think he's a really, really good director.
I still haven't seen Upgrade, but the way you described it was quite a good description, which was the better Venom.
Yeah,
and I wasn't a huge fan of Venom.
They came out like
in a month
close to
apart,
each other.
maybe,
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah. So yeah, and another thing. Speaking of the Invisible Man, and you talked about the behind the scenes of Missing Link last week. Did you see the behind the scenes of the Invisible Man?
I did not.
It's great. It's not like, it's just those those videos on YouTube where it's not like a professional behind the scenes, but just like a super cut of the B-roll that they recorded. But even that is it's awesome, because it's a guy in a green tight suit dragging people, and it's amazing what they can do with technology these days, and it looks fantastic.
It is, yeah.
And if you're gonna watch The Invisible Man, I definitely recommend to watch the behind the scenes as well, because it's great. And that sort of relieves the tension as well, because you know how stupid this whole thing looks on set. But as I'm not a horror fan, I really love this film. Like, this has potential to be my end of the year list.
Really?
It's very early, but we have those. I don't watch a lot of horror films. I only watch those that I hear really, really good things about, and then they usually manage to make my list, because Us made the list, which I really enjoyed.
It made your list?
Yeah, I think it was like level. Did it not? I think pretty sure it did.
I'm sure.
Pretty sure it did. I think it was like at the latter end of it. Yeah. But what other horror films have we seen? Hereditary. Don't Breathe, which Midsommar. I loved. Do you remember Don't Breathe?
I did. I wasn't a huge.
You didn't love that as much.
Huge a fan as you were. I think
it
was alright.
Yeah. But Hereditary, Midsommar.
Yeah. Midsommar was amazing.
Do you remember Regression?
I do. Emma Watson and Ethan Hawke.
I mean, it was fun. It was stupid, but it was fun.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was alright.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but
no,
I think it was a great time we had.
Yeah. That was a double feature we had. We watched.
Yeah. What was the second one?
We watched that, and I think we watched Everybody Wants Some.
Yeah.
I think so, right?
Yeah, because Everybody Wants Some we watched together with Maxi.
Yes.
And then first I think we watched Regression, then or the other way around.
Yes, I think it was Regression first.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. All right. So those are the two things. So do you want to talk about The Invisible Man real quick? You enjoyed it, but you didn't love it?
Yeah, mostly because of the last couple of minutes,
right?
Which kind of took me out of it. But what I just want to mention, because we talked about the music earlier and about the credits. Yes. You mentioned the credits.
I love the credits.
We were sitting in the cinema, and the credits came. They were great, and then we walked out.
Yeah.
And then we stood outside of the screening room for like a minute or so, and then decided to go back in. Where everybody was out already, so we were alone in this huge IMAX screening room.
Yeah.
With this bombastic music. It was great.
Right. We were looking for an after credit scene, right?
Yeah. Although we knew though, and none was coming, we stayed till the very end. Then.
Did we know?
We did.
I think I looked it up when we went back in. Maybe. I enjoyed the music as well. It was worth it for the music alone. Because honestly, when that, I'm going to repeat myself, but if I were a director, mm-hmm. I would do the exact same thing that he did in this film, because he really the way that do you remember that, right? The name that he reveals his...
You whispered it to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
During the film, yeah.
Not during the film.
Yeah.
It was afterwards.
I think you turned to me and said, I would do it the same.
Right. But yeah, he sort of reveals it in an epic way. Yeah. But the music is that scene where it sort of fades to black, and then the music kicks in and it takes a gear up, whatever. Mm. It's such an amazing track, and then the credits fade in. It's amazing. Yeah. So, yeah. And I heard him talk about the importance for him that the credits, and that he also loves a good credit sequence, and then he tried to do something like that. Anyway, those are the two best things that we've seen this week. Do you have anything else that you've seen you want to talk about?
I started watching a kind of a small... I don't know.
This is the segment. The things that Gabe has seen at 2 a.m. at night that he watched.
I watched it now throughout the day. It's like 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minute long clips of... Do you know David Mitchell's Soapbox?
I know David Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peep Show.
Yes.
Yeah. I've
never watched the Peep Show, but I'm a big fan of him.
I haven't seen the Peep Show either. I've seen a lot of clips of it now.
Yeah.
And I think it looks great. But you know the Soapbox, David Mitchell's Soapbox?
I have not seen that, no.
It's like a podcast, like 2 to 3 or 4 minute long rants about a topic.
Right.
And he does
just him?
Just him.
Okay.
Always on a highly animated background. You know he's sitting in front of a green screen, and the animations don't look that great. That's right. Kind of the charm. And he's, I don't know, one he's sitting in a castle, the other one he's very small, sitting among food, and the other one he's, I don't know.
Is this a new thing, or is it those old episodes?
I think the last episode came out was like 5 years ago.
Right. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And first of all, he has a great sense of humor.
He's great.
And apart from that, he just brings some very good points, which I think makes it even funnier.
Well, he's part of that group. Do you remember when we talked about Taskmaster? Mm-hmm. I said that there were like 30 British comedians that do their panel shows, and they switch, they sort of go through every single panel show. He's one of those main guys. I don't think he's been on Taskmaster. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm on like season 4, episode 7 or whatever it is now. Maybe he was in a later series. Could be. But I'm a big fan of his on those panel shows. I think he's great. Yeah.
He's a very dry British humor.
Yeah.
It's great.
How did you discover that?
Because I just started watching Peep Show clips.
Okay.
And from there,
gotcha.
I got recommended this Soapbox.
So you haven't seen anything bad this week that you binged anyway? The Gabe's Netflix corner of the show.
I finally stopped watching Vikings.
Oh.
Yeah, it was hard. Once you stop, it's quite alright. Then I very quickly lost interest.
Once you stop, it's quite alright. The show's great when you stop watching it.
No, I watched like 2 episodes of Handmaid's Tale in preparation for.
I love that you said Handmaid's Tale, because that's the combination of one of our favorite films and Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale, okay.
The Handmaiden, one of our favorite films, yeah.
Great, yeah.
In preparation for Invisible Man, yeah.
Which is quite a right show, but I don't know why it's so hyped.
I think it sort of picks up in later episodes, from what I've heard. Maybe like season 2.
But I'm very opposed to the art and costume style they chose for the characters.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not the outfit that they wear, but it's supposed to play in 2025. Oh,
I didn't know that.
In a dystopian future.
Okay.
Where it's quite similar to what's it called? Children of Men. Yeah, Children of Men.
Yeah.
Where people can still get pregnant, but the pregnancy rate's gone down. It's based on a book from the 80s.
Okay.
And so in America, a totalitarian Christian regime has overtaken.
Okay.
And they're now handmaidens.
The car horn in the background. Sorry.
Who get forcibly recruited and then go kind of this brainwashing routine. And then they get assigned to their commanders. Mm-hmm. And they're basically just there to have sex with the commander. Right. They're forced concubines. And she plays one of those. And it looks so weird because it's a Christian regime and they all kind of look like they're producers in LA. And when I think of right wing Christian,
like robes and stuff.
What?
I thought they were like in robes and stuff.
Yeah, the handmaidens are.
Okay.
Everyone else is wearing this slim fit suits and highly groomed, which it does not look living in a dystopian future where shit's going down.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it, but I haven't seen haven't even seen a trailer.
Luckily I stopped because I don't need another show.
Oh, you stopped watching that as well?
Yeah, after episode 3 or something like that, because I don't know. I don't need another show that's not finished and has over 5 seasons. I'm not ready for another commitment.
You are once it's done, though, right? And you can binge
Maybe,
it.
yeah.
But that's not a Netflix show, is it?
It's a Hulu show, but it's now on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it's on Amazon.
Yep.
Gotcha. Right? So that's it?
Yeah. Well, what about you?
I'm relying on you heavily on this segment. This should be your segment of the whole show because I haven't watched the show.
This is my episode. I did it.
I have watched,
look at me now.
I've watched Taskmaster and maybe some late night clips. I don't know. That's it. We've had a busy week this week.
Yeah, we did.
So, I think we're gonna leave it at that.
Yep. We hope you enjoyed.
We hope you enjoyed it for sure. If you want to tell your friends about us, we'd be absolutely delighted if you do that. And you can follow us, as we said, on YouTube now. You can subscribe on the YouTube channel and on every other podcast platform that is out there. And if you could give us a rating on Apple Podcasts, that would be very much appreciated. That would really help us out.
Very open to feedback.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. You can follow us on Twitter at Gabe, you know it, at
Best Thing Radio.
Yes, there it is. And we hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and we'll be back with another one next week.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
All right. Smell you later.
See ya.